the WNBA seems to be struggling to maintain interest. Now, it was the final ingredient for the perfect storm. This injury gave the WNBA the data they need to prove that pretend basketball is 100% reliable.
The WNBA is facing a ratings crisis as Commissioner Katie Engelbert watches the league's recent surge in popularity unravel. The reason is simple: Caitlin Clark, the league's brightest star, is sidelined. Without her, the WNBA is slipping back toward the obscurity that defined it before 2024.
The craziest thing about this last groin injury with Caitlin Clark is how it's been covered. The day after she had the groin injury, she was listed as day-to-day. And then a couple weeks after that, then she was listed to being out indefinitely. Now, ESPN had August 12th as the circled return date for Caitlin Clark to get back onto the court. And just yesterday, she was listed as a game time decision for today's game against the Dallas Wings. And then after practice yesterday, Coach Stephanie White basically came out and said, like, no, Caitlin Clark hasn't even been practicing. So they changed it from a game time decision to her being out. This has been all.
The numbers are stark. Since Clark's quad injury on 24th May, national TV ratings have plunged 55%. Indiana Fever games with Clark averaged 1.81 million viewers. In her absence, they've fallen to just 847,000, a 53% drop that highlights how dependent the league is on a single player.
The Indiana Felines and the Chicago Bravado played on CBS. How many of you knew that? How many of you guys watched this game? 2 months ago, this matchup would have been the leading story throughout the media. But when you don't have the rivalry, when you don't have the storyline of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, this is just another painfully boring pretend basketball game. Unsurprisingly, the Chicago Bravado got their ass kicked.
The 2025 All-Star Game reinforced this reality. Viewership dropped 36% from 3.44 million in 2024 to 2.19 million in 2025 without Clark. That 2.19 million still marks the second highest All-Star audience ever, underscoring just how low the bar was before Clark's arrival.
35%! WNBA ratings down, All-Star game 35% than last year. Yet you're telling me that it doesn't have to do with Caitlin. 35%. It really makes it difficult for fans of the WNBA in general and Caitlin Clark, like myself, to have conversations, to join a Discord, just to I don't know, want to just talk up the WNBA in general when you can't even give Caitlin the prop.
Engelbert, who once navigated the league through the pandemic with only a dozen staff, now faces a deeper crisis: the WNBA's exposure as a one-star league. What once looked like sustained growth now feels like fragile progress built on Clark's shoulders.
Man, I miss Caitlin Clark. But all I know for sure about the WNBA is that it had better get Caitlin Clark physically and mentally healthy or risk sliding right back off the national map. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest here. I find it difficult to watch WNBA games without her on the floor. I did watch most of the All-Star game on Saturday night, mostly just to see how she would react as an unofficial coach. But guess what that game turned into? All the other players tried to be Caitlin.
Criticism is mounting. Players like Clark and Kelsey Plum have spoken out about inconsistent officiating, while attendance and ratings continue to falter. Engelbert has admitted consistency is an issue, but even flawless officiating won't fix the larger truth. Without Clark, the WNBA struggles to keep national
This league has grown the way it's grown, undoubtedly because of Caitlin. She was out of the All-Star game. The tickets to get into the actual event, half off. People went because it literally got chopped in half. If Angel and Caitlin and all the others grew the WNBA, right, then the viewership should have stayed up right now. during this past weekend, it shouldn't have dropped 35% viewership just because Caitlin Clark wasn't able.
The problem deepened behind the scenes. Reports suggest players rejected a deal that would have quadrupled minimum salaries from $66,000 to $250,000 and raised maximum salaries to $1 million. Phoenix Mercury forward Satoy Sabali called it a slap in the face. Yet the WNBA loses around $50 million annually and has never turned a profit in nearly 3 decades, surviving largely on NBA subsidy.
I think we can focus on our players in the union. We got a proposal from the league, which was honestly a slap in the face. And I think we really have to put an emphasis on the players that are in our league right now. But I love to see the league growing. I think, adding these teams in Philly and Detroit, like that's how amazing is that the league can grow. But how cool would it also be to have like a little bit expansion on the rosters? Like, let's focus on the teams that have everything set up right now, and maybe focus on the teams also that find excuses continuously to lack investment into their players before we focus on adding more to the grain of people that can't really.
For critics, the rejection highlighted a disconnect from reality. As one fan put it, they turned down million-dollar salaries in a league that loses money. The math is brutal. Demanding NBA-level pay while producing WNBA-level viewership doesn't.
No, I don't know about this one, ladies. I don't know if this was the wisest decision. I really, really don't. I think you guys might be overstating your value just a bit. I'm a fan. I love Caitlin Clark. It's a bunch of players in this league that I enjoy watching. I think some of you may be overstating your value, and it is about to lead to a flat-out strike.
Clark's impact, however, is undeniable. In 2024, she accounted for 26.5% of the WNBA's total economic activity, from merchandise to ticket sales and broadcast value. Fever home games averaged 17,036 fans, outdrawing Indiana's NBA team in the same arena. Merchandise sales jumped 500%, with Clark leading all players. Her debut drew 2.7 million viewers. A rematch without her saw ticket prices fall to $3. The market's message is clear. With Clark, the WNBA is relevant. Without her, it isn't.
3 million is great. It is the least watched Felines Bravado game since Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA dump. But I've noticed a trend recently with WNBA ratings. For starters, games not involving the Indiana Felines seem to be struggling. Back in June, the LA Sparkles played the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces on Ion. 459,000 viewers. 2 weeks later, Sparkles, Minnesota Linkers on CBS, 702,000. That seems to be the number that the WNBA is averaging when the Indiana Felines are not.
Yet the league has failed to protect its star. Excessive physical play against Clark has gone unchecked, drawing criticism from peers and legends alike. When she was poked in the eye by J.C. Sheldon and knocked down by Marina Mabre, officials failed to eject Mabre. Only after backlash was the foul upgraded. Former tennis great Chris Evert put it bluntly, not protecting Clark is a bad look for the sport. V10.
Really watching because Caitlin Clark and everybody watching. Now listen, if I keep bumping her, knocking her down, might get her a concussion, you might hurt her for real. For 2 weeks, she was done with like a hamstring. She was down. 55% of the viewership was down. She comes back the next game, it's about 3 million viewers. Now let me tell you something. Growing up in the hood, they teach you this. Always protect the money. Y'all keep hurting her and all that. She going for a year or two. Ain't nobody gonna watch it. If nobody watches, how y'all gonna make and generate money? Stop playing with that girl home. Look, y'all need to start doing is put them emails together with the commissioner to the referees. Don't put y'all damn hands on Caitlin like that. You can foul her, but don't hurt her.
The WNBA remains unstable. It has never been profitable, averaging more than $10 million in losses annually, and nearly $50 million in 2024 despite Clark's presence. The NBA owns 60% of the league and, when factoring in team ownership, controls closer to 75%. Expansion plans and the recently negotiated $2.2 billion media rights deal depend heavily on Clark's continued play and market.
The NBA's latest offer to its players, while dramatically increasing the salary cap and maximum base salaries, which a league source suggested could quadruple to at least $1 million from their current $249,000, follows the same model as the current collective bargaining agreement. These ladies wanted a larger salary cap. Boom, got that. They wanted a larger number when it comes to maximum base salaries. Boom, got that. They want a 50-50 rev share split. Ooh, they don't got that. The owner said, we'll give you this and we'll give you this, but this 50-50? Ooh.
Without her, the WNBA is sliding back to its normal state, a niche league with modest audiences, lower attendance, and minimal mainstream traction. Efforts to promote other stars in Clark's absence have fallen flat, highlighting how irreplaceable she is.
I better not hear anybody ever say again that the Indiana Fever is a better team without Caitlin Clark. Like, do you see the score? Do you see the score? The Indiana Fever lost 95-60 last night against the Phoenix Mercury. Like, they got hoed last night. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. A complete embarrassment. Nobody showed up to play except for Sophie Cunningham. Kelsey Mitchell playing tunnel vision basketball, not wanting to pass the ball to anybody. Lexi bricking threes every other possession. AB was ghost town for 4 quarters. Like, I don't know where she was. Literally, she only had 4 points the whole game. Ari McDonald, Dantes, everybody was...
That leaves Engelbert in a difficult position. She once envisioned expanding to 16 teams by 2028, but now faces the possibility those plans collapse without Clark. The irony is glaring. The league that failed to adequately protect its most valuable player now depends entirely on her health and willingness to stay.
No one is watching it without Caitlin Clark. No one watched it before Caitlin Clark. And you can say, oh, Angel Reese. Angel Reese did not bring a single viewer. Okay? Like, she's not good. She misses layups left and right. And it doesn't have to do anything with, I mean, is her social media? No, she just can't play basketball. Okay? She can rebound. That's about it. Caitlin Clark can actually play basketball. And she has the fans that are coming from all of the Midwest and including Iowa and all around the world. Young girls, everybody's starting to watch the league. She's getting a ton of men to watch the WNBA. I'm not saying that men didn't watch it before, but there was a large majority, a large percentage at least, of men that didn't watch the WNBA before.
Lesson is unavoidable. Star power drives professional sports, and attempts to frame the WNBA's growth as collective rather than Clark-driven have backfired. Players demanding higher pay while rejecting major raises only deepen the perception that they are out of touch with financial reality.
Contracts? You mean to tell me the WNBA offered to pay y'all 4 times more, meaning max players will be getting $1 million contracts? Y'all turned it down? Some of these games are 30-31 at halftime, and y'all turning down $1 million contracts? Are you crazy? Are y'all crazy? Listen, man, look, being stubborn gon' kick y'all in the ass, man. Y'all gotta stop playing games.
Engelbert's legacy will be defined by how she responds. If she creates an environment where Clark feels valued and protected, the WNBA may sustain its momentum. If not, the league risks returning to obscurity. The evidence is overwhelming. Caitlin Clark is not just the WNBA's biggest star, she is its foundation. The ratings, attendance, and merchandise sales all say the same thing. Without her, the WNBA is just another struggling basketball league fighting to